Good morning. Good morning. So, I'm back, and what you can see today, what I wanted to talk about today is the whole. I want us to look at euro and dollar index. The whole. I don't know how to say it. I want us to look more out. I want to look. I want us to look outward, more outward. Meaning, I want us to look at the overall from the monthly, which is the highest time frame I do deal with. So I want us to look at that, and I want us to say something because there are so many things that we need to say. I needed to show you guys, like I said, I can't just give you that short term time frame, and I want you to go work with that. But I want you to, have this feeling that I have as well, because if I'm just giving you the short term perspective, it does not actually give you a proper perspective as well. I'm giving you a short term perspective that doesn't give you a proper perspective. I believe that with this overall information, it is going to give you an edge to know that whatever you are doing on a lower time frame is not of high, it's a high resistance liquidity run. Okay, so and what I mean in essence, there's what we call low resistance liquidity run from high resistance liquidity run. Okay, this is the month of January recap. Let me say something first of all. This is the month of January recap. This is the end of the week recap. I don't have to do this video again next week, because although today um this actual the January is actually finished, is finishing on Thursday, on Wednesday, which is 31st. I think Thursday is 31st next week. Well, if I might decide to still do this video, but I don't think I will have to look at this overall perspective again. Okay, so now let's see what is this. Why am I showing you this, guys? Okay, from what we can see here on the monthly, let's deal with what the monthly is saying and forget about the daily, or like just let's talk about the monthly. Now, from the monthly perspective, if you want to look at it from this view, now you want to spot where is the highest high, the highest high in the past 12 months, the highest high in the past 24 months. Now if you want to look at that, we want to start counting, right? We want to start counting. I don't know my Want to start counting: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Now this is the highest high. I'm just putting that, and the lowest low. Okay, I already have something on the lowest low. Now look at this area. This is a swing high. It's just so perfect. I was just looking at this, and it makes a lot of sense. We have the highest high is here, and the lowest low is here. Now the high and the low, which one was created last? The low, obviously the low is the one that is created last, meaning that we created this high because it's this high that lead to this low. Now if this high lead to this the creation of this low, then where do you think we probably going for? Where do you think on the monthly, where do you think we are actually the price, the euro is actually going for? Now on the monthly, we can, after creation of this low, and this low is created on the month of what, September 2022. All right. So when we created this low, we started rallying. Price started to rally higher earlier of that month. And now, if you watch what is happening here on the monthly, this market actually is either you can call it consolidation or accumulation, depending on terminologies you are using and depending on what are you referring to as. Because if I wanted to call it now, I can call this is actually an accumulation, manipulation, and another accumulation, then we are ready to distribute higher. Okay, but if you don't call it like that, if you want to call it a consolidation, this is a displacement, a consolidation, and another displacement higher. Then how effective can now how we need to determine where is the market going to leave this range higher, or is it going to leave this range lower. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about is that price tends to not leave volume imbalance behind. No matter how good, no matter how bad it is, they want to pick them. We have this monthly volume imbalance, and that's worry me most. Although, and that says so many things to me. And again, looking at this range that I identify in this hash box, let me click on it. This particular box, this range identifies something. Now we have the range high here and the range low here. Well, we created this high, we swept it. What happened? We traded back into the range and come back and swept this low. Now we swept the range high again. Where are we going to? We are going to go for lower. That means if you are using the liquidity concept to identify the direction of the market. Now, there are many things which are used to identify the direction of the market. Now, I like to use liquidity pools. That's I like to use high, low. I like to identify the range because sometimes range do very well with price. And again, I want to identify a PD array on that particular time frame that has that has that that is that has its willingness is that I don't how am I going to put this English, that has influence, yes, that has influence on price. Now we have this PD array. If at all this low actually patch into this fair value gap, my sister or my brother, there is no reason we should expect price to come here. And I'm going to show you the lower time frame, which is the weekly, so you know what the weekly is saying. But this video will not let me. It just take me 20 minutes, and I'm only spending almost 7 minutes on only euro monthly before I go to DXY monthly before I talk about weekly. So I'm just trying to rush this thing up so that I can be able to cover all that. Even if I cannot cover the daily, I want to cover the weekly so that I want you to have some mindset going in this market. So let's go to the XY monthly contract. Now, this is the XY monthly contract. You see, the whole thing is inverted. Okay, the whole thing on euro is inverted, and this high, September 2022, we created this high and we rally back with this range. This low created this high, and if you look back, there is equal lows here, which is actually very vulnerable to price. And again, if you want to determine the difference between on this price leg, because on the monthly we want to use this price leg to determine our range. Now, if you want to use that price leg to determine your range, you want to put your Fibonacci on this level, and your on the Fibonacci 2, this is our equilibrium. Now that means price is almost at equilibrium. Reason why we are consolidating. Market consolidates at equilibrium. If you know your if you know your element of a trade setup that make up a trade setup, market consolidates at equilibrium. Now we are consolidating at equilibrium. Now, do you see why we don't actually know perfectly where it is likely to go next? But we are making use of the short time analysis, and we are good to go. And that is why, even though you are taking an entry on a lower time frame, you don't turn your lower time frame entry into a longer time frame perspective. That means you are engaging with price within a short period of time. Don't turn a short time trade into a long time trade. Understand? Now, because if you are here and you know that price is able to come here, then you can put your entry on a lower time frame here and be waiting for price to come here. But you can't do that type of scenario here. Because the market is consolidating, and until we leave this range before we can know what exactly the price is telling us. Now, I want to see how this candle close next week. That is why I see there's still an importance for me to, maybe I'll just share the picture of it, or I'll still do a video about it because it does not even eat anything from me. I can do any millions of videos. So now, you the way we close on this candle determine if this fair value gap is going to be effective or not, because you can see there is a fair value gap here, and that I'm already willing to see price run through it. Now, we can also see this is our range on a monthly, on euro, on dollar index, sorry. This is the dollar index range. I'm coming because I need to discount and premium. This is our range the the monthly. This is our range. So this range determine, when we clear the sell, we come back and we price into this void, liquidity void. Now, if we close so bullish that there is no reason for market to come down, then we now have a swing. Then we now have a swing low. Now, in that swing low, we expect that to see it, price below this high. That means we want to see this high taken if we are actually bullish, but it's not really clear. So you can see that why I wanted to do this monthly view. You can see why the direction of the market is not really clear, because we are at monthly what monthly equilibrium. So market is at the monthly equilibrium, and if we eventually comes lower and take this sell side liquidity, then we have this fair value gap here, which will support price to go higher. But now let's go on a weekly and see how we can compare and contrast this market. So this is the euro US dollar weekly contract. Now, on the weekly, I think the weekly has given us a pure direction, right? But the direction, now I want to say something. You are on a higher probability if the weekly and the weekly, monthly, and daily are speaking the same language. Now, the monthly is speaking different language, but the weekly and the daily is speaking bearish language for euro dollar. So that means we might be bearish, but in a short time perspective, how far can we go on this bearishness? Nobody knows, because the monthly is not on a particular direction. The monthly is on a consolidation. Now, until we leave this whole consolidation before you can have a particular perspective on price. So reason why you should not kill yourself for this market. So provide room for the market to breathe, so that you will not wreck your own emotion. Now, let's say if we are really bearish, if we take this low, now there's a high chance that we will take this low next month, and if we take that low, now this other block has already been used by this particular leg up. So there's now a reason why we can take this low, then consequently we can take this low. Now, if we are extremely going to be on a particular direction, then we can expect the market to come all the way to this weekly inversion fair value gap. All this volume imbalance does not have willingness in price. Another thing which I fear here is this ICT reaper that's here. I don't want to call it out, but I had to say it because of this video. This particular ICT reaper, okay, this is you can call it inversion fair value gap, or I call it ICT reaper because we have run through it one, two. So if you come back to it the third time, that's why I refer to it as ICT reaper. So now we have this three strong PDRA, and this one has an order block. This particular bearish down close candle here, this particular down close candle is a bullish order block. So which we anticipate to hold price from going lower. Are we supposed to be worried about when price get here? No, we are supposed to focus and know where what is going to happen next week. But I am integrating this longer time perspective, so you know what price is saying, so you know how the kind of mindset you have when engaging with price. And this is the kind of mindset I have every fucking day when I'm engaging with this market. So I don't lose my shit for this market, and put all my will at a particular price. And again, if we did take out these loads, now let's look at the only the areas that we are interested in, which is this area. Now there is no fair value gap here. If you look at price has been coming lower. There is no fair value gap or no other block that we can call out. But since we have this efficient price delivery here, and there's no reason for price to go higher, then next week we might still be projecting for a lower price on euro. That means we are still expecting a black candle next week. Does that mean that it must give us a black candle? No, it can still give us another green candle, but it will not be that bullish. It cannot give us something like this, but it will might surely give us something like this, or eventually give us something like this kind of big green black candle that will take out this low, whatever. But just have a perspective in mind. Let me go on a daily, because I don't think we can talk about the XY now before this video finish. Now this is the daily. Okay, I don't want to go higher, I don't want to talk about all those. I want us to focus on this daily. If you go back to the video I posted on Friday, which is 26th January, this same date that is showing here, yeah, I posted a video on my YouTube channel, that explained this particular scenario. I just wanted to talk about something. Now, us knowing that we are bearish and we see this swing high, and a swing high. Now, if there is no reason, I don't have on a lower time frame we are bearish. Now the daily is supportive to the weekly. I wish if at all the monthly is supportive to all these three PDRE, then we have a low resistance liquidity run. Now because of this, we have high resistance liquidity run. What do they mean by that resistance liquidity run? Simply means that price price and time are really not in conjunction with each other at the moment. Okay, we actually, let me go to the weekly on the XY. Now even on the XY, okay, yes, I have a very clean something here on the XY. I don't know why time will not permit me. Now on the XY, we are going higher. If we take this and we eventually take this, we have another swing high here. Then this is the inversion fair value gap. Then if price eventually come to this area, then we can expect lower delivery in price back to this particular liquidity void. If we are going lower, then if we are going higher, then that is on price. But right now I am more positive on the XY. And let's go back to the little area we are in. On the XY, we can see that there is a fair value gap here, which is bullish fair value gap. But I don't know if price is going to come back to it. Then if price has to come back to it, then the XY has to be bullish again. Sorry, euro has to be bullish for the XY to come back to this area. So we just have that on your mind going in. But this particular area is so vulnerable to price to be taken out, and we have this volume imbalance that has been used, and this other block we might price into it, and price will start going down, or we remain on the monthly range, but we'll be using the weekly and the daily to frame our bias for the day, or going in every session. So it's a lot, but I hope this video give you an insight, and I hope it's really supportive to the bias and to everything, and I hope you did learn something from it. If you do, please subscribe to this channel, share the video if you want to, and give us a like. I think that will go a long way. Thank you so much. Thank you, and remain blessed. Stick to this channel, you're going to get more and more information, lucrative information that you're going to enjoy. Thank you.